Welcome to Music and Medicine. I'm your host, Dr. Moshe Lewis. I am so excited to be joined by Luna Pan today. She is a recording artist who is incredible. You have heard her music and probably don't even realize that you have, because besides doing large orchestral work, she's also recorded for video games and some movies. Welcome, Luna. So happy to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be with you today.
Sure, and I've got to tell them, where are you at? Because you're not right down the block.
No, I'm in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, I love it. And just tell us a little bit about sort of living there and some of the things that you enjoy and that you like.
Yeah, living in Sydney is great. As you can see, it's summer right now. A lot of activities over the weekend. You can go to the beach and you can get on a boat, go fishing, and there's a lot of outdoor activities like walking dogs, and our restrictions easing, so we can still go down to get some food and enjoy a drink at a pub. So it's pretty good.
Exactly. And as I was telling you before we got started, I've been out there and just fell in love. And I'm just trying to figure out a way to get the two continents a little bit closer. And I'll be running there for the weekend.
I know. How good would that be?
I enjoyed it so much. How did you get started in music and then ultimately choose your instrument as the piano?
Um, yeah, I started playing piano since I was 4 years old. It wasn't really by choice because that's the instrument my parents picked. And I played, after playing classical music for about 10 years, that's how I sort of really developed that skill, just to be a musician and know how to perform. And then later down the road, I just thought I should give composing a go, just because I'm pretty shy. So I like to hide behind the screen and not on the stage. And yeah, I just love the whole aspect of film scoring and help telling the story. And here I am.
Sure, absolutely. This is an interesting phenomenon that's come up before with a couple of the artists where they kind of maybe almost get to this magical moment of, I still want to perform and I love music, but really being on the stage or in front of a crowd isn't really kind of the most comfortable. How did you kind of come to that realization and walk through it without leaving the piano, which you love, behind?
Um, I think I was never going to be a pianist, a professional one. So
Right.
obviously, I went to the whole route of doing high school, university. That never really came across my mind. I actually did commerce degree before getting into music again, just because my, as an Asian in my family, had some expectation for me.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
um, so yeah, I did all that. And then later on, I just thought I couldn't do this like for the rest of my life. And I just didn't think it was right for me.
Right.
So I went and did another bachelor degree in music composition, during which we scored some short films.
Right.
And I just really love collaborating with filmmakers and try to contribute with what I'm good at, which is composing music. And then from there, you just get to know more and more filmmakers. And yeah, before I know, I'm here.
Right, sure. So I want to take a kind of a little bit of a musical journey on you, because I know you're there by the keyboard, and what might be like an early sound or an early song that you really loved, that spoke to your heart, or just was just sort of a place that you began, where things are a little bit more simple and not quite as epic as they are now with your sound.
You mean my own work, or like
Mhm.
my own work?
Sure. Yeah, it can be your own, or something that you just really it's practice for you, but you just really love it. Just something kind of like from an earlier Luna, if we had maybe stumbled across you, just a few years ago before all the big movies and all the big studios were coming after you.
Yeah, I just had to say, obviously, I was influenced by John Williams quite a lot. I love film score from when I was younger. I think one of my favorite track was the Schindler's List, and that beautiful haunting violin solo. It just sticks with me, and how John Williams portrayed the whole film with his score is just incredible. And I really look up to that. And then I guess there was a melody that kind of stuck with me, that I kind of want to realize, which it did last year when I recorded with an orchestra with. So that was a whole journey. Like it's crazy that something was in your head, played by 40, 50 people in front of you. It's just incredible.
Sure. And what might be sort of an early sound or something that you just enjoy either practicing or just playing that's maybe a little bit simple and straightforward in some ways, but just something kind of from your earlier time period?
Obviously piano is my main instrument. So I was sitting in front of it and kind of just come up with melodies and sort of developing themes as such. And then I guess, there are a few that kind of stuck around, and I just finished a feature film called Streets of Color that I eventually used the theme that the director loved.
Oh, I love it. And like you said, that was something that kind of developed over quite a period of time.
I guess because we did have a lot of time during post-production, and it's a matter of finessing the idea and use different instrumentation to fit certain things. And so a lot of the score is equipped with this thing, and it's a matter of playing around and get it to work with the thing.
Sure. And if I'm not mistaken, there are times when you may not even have a visual on the film or the short or even the video game that you're composing to, because you may get the request before all the visuals are done.
Actually, this one was written off screen. I didn't have anything to look at. I read the script. I love reading scripts before anything and compare something to it, just because I didn't have any visual reference. And I just thought, I think about the story and very abstractly in my head. And I think that really helps me to develop a theme. Yeah.
I love it. And then I also noticed that you have a cello there, and presume that sometimes, even though maybe it's your second instrument, that you also play that.
It's actually not my second instrument, but I
Okay.
do use it to do some sound design and
Mm.
uh, playing. When I say, for example, when I write a horror score, I would just go crazy at it. Yeah, just to create different sounds. It's
Yeah.
quite interesting.
Sure, I love it. And then how did you sort of evolve into this field where you're, like you said, working with movies and also video games and things like that? Because it certainly seems a leap from maybe initially writing to actually scoring at an epic level, much, much bigger and larger sound. How did that transition occur?
Oh, takes a long time. Everything is about practice, and this is no different. So I spent quite a long time just trying to up myself to a level that I feel confident to produce a score by myself, and for it to meet the industry standard. And I never thought I was enough for a long time or I was good enough. So I actually went to do a master degree in orchestration.
Wow.
That took another year. And also, I tried to set myself an hour a day just to analyze scores and better myself. And bottom line is, I think it really is a 10,000 hour skill set that you have to just earn over time.
Right.
And obviously, working with different directors on different film projects, gradually you have that experience of how to communicate with them and how to work with picture. Um, yeah, and I think that experience also comes with time.
Right, sure.
Mhm.
And the show's called Music and Medicine. Just in terms of developing that confidence, because like you said, that's a tremendous leap from wanting to do it and then even studying how to do it and then really immersing yourself in the field and then getting good at it. What tips might you have for somebody about how to sort of overcome self-doubt or concerns or fears? Because I think they're very natural when one's trying to ascend to such a high level.
That's a great question. Especially from my case, because I was working in finance for a bit, and just for that to quit a full-time job to go into another degree that's totally not related to what I was doing,
Right.
it's a huge leap of faith, I guess. I was younger, so maybe I didn't care as much. So I think mentally, you just really have to believe in what you're doing and know that you're on the right path, and everything else is in existence of that. What else, whatever you're doing should be going towards the goal you're trying to achieve. And I think having that mindset is really important, whether you want to excel in composition or playing or anything else. Yeah, and I think with health wise, I do look after myself pretty well, I guess. There are a lot of times as a composer, it's so hectic. You have to get the score out in such a short period of time. But then I do think, your body is so important, because if you're sick, you won't be able to do anything.
Right.
So yeah, I think my best advice is to sleep very regularly
Right.
and eat on a healthy diet, like not really a diet, but the lifestyle itself, and try to set half an hour to an hour aside every day to exercise, whether it's going for a walk or going to the gym or anything physical will help you clear your head as well. And I think that really helps me. Like, say if I'm stuck on a queue that I just don't know what to do by the end of the day. And then I would be like, you know what, I'm just gonna step aside and uh, go play fetch with my dogs at the park or go
Right.
for a run.
Right.
By the time you come back, this is not an issue anymore. Like, I don't have a writer's block or anything. It just really clears my head.
Hmm. Hmm. What was one big moment where you felt like, gosh, I've really made it. I'm on my way now, and I really did not only make a good decision, but but I'm happy. I'm happy with what I'm doing.
I'm so glad you're asking me now, because even maybe it was last month, I was still not sure. Um, Honestly, I spent so many years just wondering whether I've made the right choice, because this is such a difficult industry to put your foot in the door. And obviously, comparing from finance, you go in there, you have a set salary, and after 5 years, your salary doubles. Things just easier, but it's not what I
Sure.
like at all. So I spent years just wondering, when's my next gig? When is it coming? When am I going to make it? Will I ever make it? Yeah, and then this year, even though it's still January, I do have a few feature films lined up.
Yeah.
Which, if it goes ahead, I should be able to support myself financially for a whole year already.
Sure.
And it has never happened to me before, like ever. I'll be lucky to do some projects, but they're low budget, great films, but you're not able to support yourself and pay the expensive bills and rent in Sydney. Yeah, but this year is looking good. I hope I don't jinx it, but
Sure. No, we'll keep our fingers crossed and not apply any extra pressure. But I want to talk about that because we kind of had brought it up beforehand. That whole concept of being an independent, because like you said, I had thought maybe you were with the studio, just given how prolific you've been in the different projects you've worked on, so many. Just talk to us about maybe some of those skill sets that somebody may need to keep in mind if they are going to be be an indie in an industry that's so big.
I guess the situation is a bit different in Australia compared with the States, because there are so many more composers out there who would look for assistants and or help out in the studio or be a receptionist, that kind of job. And it's a whole career path where you go work under the composer and somehow spin off on your own. But I think in Australia, not many composers are able to do that. So starting off as indie is more of a default option than, I'm good enough now, I'm just going to go on my own. But I did work for a lot of music publishers, just sending my tracks to them so that they can approach filmmakers and TV producers to have your music placed on their show. And I think having that experience is really good if you're just starting out, because over the time, the back end royalty can roll in and really help you during difficult times when you don't have any projects going on. And I think other than that, network is just the key. I started working on student films for free. That's how I started.
Sure.
Or low budget films, and a lot of marketing, just to, whether it's cold emailing or being introduced or going to network sessions before COVID, film festivals. I volunteered at a film festival for 2 years straight, just meeting people. And I'm still in contact with them. And you just never know. If it's not now, it probably won't be if you meet someone, but maybe in 3 years time, he'll be like, oh, I know Luna, she can write music. So I think that's so important.
Sure. And then on the opposite side, tell us about maybe a difficult experience, but something you may feel like you learned from it, and that you feel you can pass that information on to somebody else that might encounter the same situation.
Yeah, I think I would like to talk about, especially during COVID, other than the health concern, because you're indoor all the time.
Right.
And in Australia, we had 2 lockdowns where there are no film projects or shooting at all. So it won't reach post, which means there's absolutely no work for composers.
Wow.
I guess that's very difficult for most people. So I think I would like to talk about the downtime when you don't have any projects going on. I think the important thing is, even if you don't have any work, you shouldn't be away from your workstation for too long. It's not like you're taking a holiday, but maybe use the time to really enjoy writing music. Then, I've got a deadline to meet.
Right.
Just work on your crafts, write something random, or write an album, like anything. I think that's important, because every minute you write counts towards an improvement to your career, whether or not you're making money out of it or not.
Sure, I like that. And then maybe one last question. What advice might you give to sort of a younger Luna Pan starting out? How might you advise her, having learned a few things along the way?
Oh, my younger self. Oh, I guess I could say that, stop being lazy. And to my younger self, like, I guess I had more time than I do now to perfect my craft, but I guess I didn't as much as I wish to now. So yeah, to my younger self, I'll be like, be better. Don't be lazy, write something today. If not, write something tomorrow. Yeah, that's my advice.
Sure, sure. Well, that's very heartwarming. I mean, considering you've got, 2 degrees and then an advanced degree and worked in the finance commerce industry.
Yeah, I just never thought it was enough. Like, yeah, people try a lot harder than I do, I believe.
You may believe. Do you feel that some of that can be a cultural pressure, a societal pressure, or do you feel in your case maybe that it's internal or both of those things?
Definitely both. And I think especially in the music industry, it's not like you can just hang around and hopefully one day something will fall in your lap.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't happen. And especially because it's such a hard industry, you have to work 10 times harder than an average person just so that you can make a living out of. I think it's that pressure that keeps me going. Obviously, I want to be a better composer. I want to be good at what I do. But when it comes to being an independent composer and think myself as a business as well, the financial pressure also comes on. Being a female composer also has a lot of, I'd say, uncertainty. Sometimes it's in your favor, sometimes it's not. That could be another pressure. Being from a different cultural background, because I'm Chinese, it could also go both ways. Yeah.
Some people say that music is medicine, or they use music as medicine. Is there a way that you feel personally, even despite the composition, that it's really kind of helped you weather storms or stay strong or be your heroine, so to speak?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. Music is medicine, definitely. It's not even a metaphor. Yeah, I think just because I want to express myself through music so much, even if I have sort of, I'm down or I'm happy or any kind of other emotions, I just want to just play music. Yeah, I think it's very therapeutic in that way, to me. I'm sure to a lot of other people, even though they don't play music, but they love listening to music. Yeah, it's a very special thing. It's weird, isn't it? You don't even know what music is.
Right. Exactly. No, it's so true. It's profound, yet it can still be so simplistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this has been delightful. As we go out, is there a special song that you'd like to leave us with, that you'd like to set up and tell us a little bit about?
Sure. I wanted to maybe show you guys what I recorded with an orchestra last year, and I won. I was nominated at Hollywood Music and Media Awards in the orchestral category.
Yes.
So something I'm quite proud of, I guess.
Yes, so you should be. I love it. Oh, it's so epic, and the sound is just so magnanimous. Thank you so much. Thank you for fitting us into your schedule with the big time difference and things like that. Yeah, no, it's been so delightful. We love just having that opportunity to sort of walk through sort of your eyes, sort of into your world, and really understand it, because I think the more that we can appreciate some of the people behind, some of this epic sound and what they go through, and the good, the bad, and everything in between, it kind of really makes us feel a little bit more connected to the music and some of the expression. As I listen to you now, I think about, things like a Schindler's List, or I think about you sort of composing on a rainy day or after taking a break, and kind of can more, sort of empathize, but have even a broader thought process about what the music can mean, and where it came from. And it's been so wonderful to spend some time with you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a delight. This has been your host, Dr. Moshe Lewis with Music and Medicine. We promise to bring you amazing artists and kind of hear a little bit of the story behind the music, and more importantly, learn about some of the health aspects, the ups and downs and the challenges that they face, as well as the triumphs that they achieve as they continue to go forward, bringing us excellent music and digging deep within their souls to bring us happiness and joy, and sometimes have us connect with the fear and the pain that we all experience at some time. Thank you so much.